Hey guys, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for tuning into the lineup show. I hope you guys will have plenty of delicious food this Thanksgiving, and I hope that you watch plenty of football as well. Football on Thanksgiving. Does it get better than that? Does it? I don't know, but I'll tell you this much. I am going to go over the slate for you guys, starting with the quarterbacks, and the highest salaried player at $6,800 being Lamar Jackson. And he is in a great spot here against the Bengals, who are 31st against the quarterback and 32nd against the pass. And worst in the league against the pass. I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a game here. He's averaging 18.9 fantasy points a game. But with that said, I do not like him as much as Patrick Mahomes this week. Patrick Mahomes on Thanksgiving Day is playing the Dallas Cowboys, and for some reason, I think Thanksgiving football, I think Cowboys, I think that they should get the win. They're playing in Dallas. It just makes sense. However, they are playing the Chiefs. They're playing Patrick Mahomes, who did get the win last week, but they are trying to kind of salvage the season, I think. They're finally behind Denver in this whole thing. And that's exciting for me because I am a Broncos fan. And for the first time in I don't know how long, Kansas City does not have the best on us. So we will see how the season ends. But right now, I expect Patrick Mahomes to ball out in this game against Dallas. Dallas is 32nd against the quarterback. They are 30th against the pass. And I just fully expect Patrick Mahomes to have a game here, big game. And I hope that he does, because I am going to play him as my quarterback. But I definitely don't blame you for playing Lamar Jackson either. Patrick Mahomes averaging 22.7 fantasy points a game, and playing the team that's worst in the league against the quarterback. It looks right for me. Dak Prescott, I don't love the matchup here at all. Kansas City's 11th against the quarterback and 11th against the pass. He's averaging 21.6 fantasy points a game. It's in Dallas. It is Thanksgiving, so I expect him to put on a show. I just don't know how well he's going to be able to play against this defense. Let's see. Joe Burrow still out, so we got Jared Goff, who's also in a position that is just a no-no for me. He's playing Green Bay, who's 6th against the quarterback, 5th against the pass. The same team that he played in week 1, and he only got 11.9 fantasy points. I like Jared Goff, but I don't like him this week playing against the Green Bay Packers. I do like Jordan Love against Detroit, who is 24th against the quarterback, 15th against the pass. And when they played in week 1, he got 15.9 fantasy points. So he did a little bit better. It is Thanksgiving football. I think maybe, honestly, anything could happen in this game, in this slate, guys. But I could see Jordan Love having a really good game as well. Still like Patrick Mahomes the best. Joe Flacco, in an okay spot for sure against Baltimore. 16th Baltimore is against the quarterback, 24th against the pass. And I think Joe Flacco could do well. Keep in mind, he's got Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is out, but he does have Jamar Chase. He should be able to make a ball game of this against Baltimore, I would hope. But they're also playing in Baltimore, so not sure how well that would go over. But yeah, so there you have it for the quarterbacks, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and slate in Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback, and we will move on to the running backs. Guys, I don't know if you saw my short that I had put out, literally just talking about Jonathan Taylor having a 52 point whatever game, which is just incredible. I mean, that's incredible. It's that you take a good running back on any week and 26 points, I'm happy with. I think that's pretty solid. Would I like to get more from a top running back? Yes, maybe 30 something. 26 is pretty stinking solid, and he literally doubled that. Right after I put out that video, Jahmyr Gibbs comes out and puts up 58.4 fantasy points against the New York Jets. These running back numbers are getting stupid. It's crazy. 58.4 fantasy points. I feel like I've seen that in the past. I think I've seen a 60-plus point game, maybe more. But with that said, that is almost unheard of. Like, you don't hear about it that often. So to have back-to-back weeks, one week you have Jonathan Taylor and the next Jahmyr Gibbs outperforms a 52-point game with 58.4. Are you kidding me? It's crazy. It's exciting, but I don't expect that at all this week against Green Bay. Green Bay's 10th against the running back, 6th against the rush, or against the run. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I think he could get points. I don't think he's going to get a lot of points. In week 1, he had 15 against Green Bay. I don't think I'm going to play him this week. I don't think I'm going to play the guy that just had a 58.4 point game. That's crazy. But you have Derrick Henry playing the worst team in the league against the running back and against the run. Well, they're not the worst against the run. They are almost the worst. They are 31st against the run. Or at least the run yards. And 32nd against the running back. So they are the worst in the league against the running back. I expect him to have a really good game. Really good game. But he hasn't averaged much this year. 15.8 fantasy points. Week 12, he had 22.8. Week 11, he had 23.2, however. So, seems like things are starting to click. And he's got the best matchup possible this week, pretty much. So, yeah, I would definitely play him. I'm going to go ahead and skip to Chase Brown. I like Chase Brown a lot here. He is playing Baltimore, who's 20th against the running back. They are 20th also against the run. I expect him to have a really solid game here as well. He's had back-to-back games over 18 points, fantasy points that is. And week 9, he also had 19.2. In week 8, he had 25.5. I think he's on the right track. I think with T. Higgins being out, he might get maybe a few passes thrown his way. I did skip over Josh Jacobs. He's questionable for 1, but for 2, Detroit ranks number 1 against the running back and 11th against the run. Or at least against run yards allowed. I realize now, guys, that I possibly have been looking at the stats a little bit wrong for you guys. So I've been looking at the run. I always say the rush for some reason, but it's run yards per game. They're 20th against that. I think Chase Brown's going to be a good solid play here. Don't like Javonte Williams. I heard a lot of people saying that. I heard some people, I should say, saying that Javonte Williams, they think is going to do good in this game. I don't see it. Kansas City's 4th against the running back, 8th against the run or against run yards. I don't see it. I don't like him here. Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco appears to be back. I don't know if he'll be on like a snap count or anything, but he is back in this game, it looks like. I don't know which one you like. I think they both have solid matchups. I think that Kareem Hunt I would prefer over Pacheco at this point. He's averaged more. He's just had a better season overall. Not interested in David Montgomery here. But, yeah, Kareem Hunt or Pacheco, I could see you going with. I'm not going to, but, you know, do you. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. I'm going to throw in Derrick Henry here. I'm going to throw in Chase Brown. Going to go to the wide receivers. We have Jamar Chase sitting at the top, most expensive, as he should be. Baltimore's 25th against the wide receiver, 24th against pass yards allowed. Or I'm sorry, 24th as far as pass yards allowed go. Guys, I apologize. I have been looking at these stats apparently all wrong here, but it's kind of the same difference. So, Baltimore 24th in pass yards allowed. So that's not good. And they are 25th against the wide receiver. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with Jamar Chase. I'm just going to slot him in there right now. Amon-Ra St. Brown, definitely couldn't blame you for playing him, especially off a 32.9 fantasy point game. But his matchup is not good, and I don't want to play him here. Just trying to scroll down. I want to see what he did in week 1 against Green Bay. He had 8.5 fantasy points in that game. No thank you this week, although I do like him a lot. Rashee Rice, coming off a 27.1 fantasy point game, playing the Cowboys, who are 31st against wide receivers and 30th as far as pass yards allowed goes. I think I'm going to go with Rice. I'm going to put him in there right now as well. George Pickens, averaging 21.1 fantasy points a game, is questionable. They have him salaried higher than CeeDee Lamb. And why not? CeeDee Lamb's averaging 16.1 a game. I don't like the matchup. I like the idea of playing one of them or both of them because it's Thanksgiving. That's it. It just seems right to have a Cowboy or a Lion or something on Thanksgiving, but I don't know that I'm going to because I don't like the matchups. Zay Flowers, I don't like that either. I don't. I will say the Bengals are 32nd against the pass, but they're 10th against the wide receiver. So that makes me like maybe a Mark Andrews quite a bit. And I think that I like Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs here. I do. Watson had 7 targets in week 12, 5 in week 11, 4 in week 10. Looks like he's seen an uptick. Lions are 21st against the wide receiver, 15th against pass yards, or 15th in pass yards allowed. That's where they rank. And Romeo Doubs had 3 targets in week 12, 8 in week 11, 10 in week 4. You already saw the matchup. I like them both, kind of. I like Xavier Worthy here. Don't love Xavier Worthy because of his per game average, but he did get 9.9 points last week. Same with Hunter Brown. I think I would like him here, but he definitely has not done a whole lot the last little bit here. He only had 1 target the last game. Yosivas, I think possibly you would imagine would get an uptick in this game. He had 7 targets last week, 10.6 fantasy points. So I could definitely see him being worth a play. and I might play him, but I kind of doubt it. I like Thornton even a little bit. Don't love the idea of having to play him, but I think you could play him for sure. And I'm just trying to think, guys, of who my last wide receiver is. I had T. Higgins in, I believe, before he was listed as out. I really did like him. And there are some stud wide receivers. I just think they're going to get shut down mostly. So I think I'm just going to go with Christian Watson here. I don't like Ferguson's matchup this week. Kansas City's 9th against the tight end. I don't dig it. Travis Kelce, I kind of like here. As we said, the Cowboys are 30th in pass yards allowed per game. They're 17th against the tight end. I could see Kelce having a game, but Mark Andrews playing the worst team in the league against the tight end. He's averaging 9.3 fantasy points a game. There's 32nd. Cincinnati is 32nd in the league against tight ends. I just don't see how you don't play him in this game, but everybody's going to be playing him. So if they don't, then they're playing Isaiah Likely. I just don't see how they're not going to play one of those two guys. So this lineup could end up being chalky. I don't know. It does kind of leave some questions for that flex spot. Who the heck I'm going to pick? But as far as defenses go, we got Detroit at Green Bay. I don't like it. We got the Ravens, who I do like. They only average 5 fantasy points a game, however. And Cincinnati's 27th against the defense. Let's see. Kansas City, I don't like it. Packers, I don't like it against Detroit, and I really don't like the Cowboys here. The only defense I do like is the Ravens, so I guess we go with the Ravens, and that only leaves us 2,900 points for our last player, which I think is going to have to be Luke Musgrave or Isaiah Likely. I think I definitely like Isaiah Likely better, except Mark Andrews. I do want to look here and see. I just want to make sure that Tucker Kraft, he's out. So no Tucker Kraft. But you do have Fitzpatrick in there, who they have on Draftkings listed as the number 1 now. Even though he's cheaper, they have him listed as the number 1 above Luke Musgrave. So I guess that means we're going to have to look at targets. Musgrave had 2 targets in the last 2 games, compared to Fitzpatrick, who only had 1 target in the last 2 games. I would say personally that I would still go with Musgrave. But with that said, Detroit is 12th against the tight end, so I don't love that in the first place. Let's see, what did Tucker Kraft do though when they played each other in week 1? He got 9.9 fantasy points. So with that said, that makes Musgrave a little more intriguing as probably the top tight end there, and for Green Bay playing at Detroit. Isaiah Likely, he hasn't had a whole lot of points the last few games, but man, this matchup, it's hard not to pick him in this spot. For now, I'm going to throw Likely in just so I can end this video for you guys, but I might put Musgrave back in there depending upon how I feel. And there you have it, guys. I would expect this to be kind of a chalky lineup, but especially there's more people in this one. It's a $5 millionaire maker contest on DraftKings. If you're using DraftKings, I don't know how many of you use Fanduel, Underdog, or any of the other apps or sites, but I'd imagine a lot of you use DraftKings if you're watching this. Yeah, I would imagine that these are going to be chalky players, but I'm excited, guys. Hey, I wish you the best with your lineups, and I also just hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope that you can spend it with your family and the people that you care about and love, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again.